We are beginning the chicken coop build, and we are setting the foundation blocks so we have them in the right spot. We're actually going to be tying into the playhouse structure and putting the run underneath it because it'll be nice and contained. So we're just leveling the blocks, getting them in the right spot, and that's the first part. And then we'll just get the posts tied into this and build up from there. So as you can see, we have the post in place, we have it bolted, and for this particular post, because it's under the play structure, we have a cap in place connecting it to the beam just for added stability. So we are starting to install some of the joists. We've got them tied in. We have the hangers on, but we haven't actually attached the joists because we need to finalize the leveling, make sure everything is perfectly level. We got that side cut, this side cut. Got the hangers installed, so it's looking pretty good so far. Just need to probably move a little faster because the chicks are getting older by the day. And here's where we're at for the next stage of the chicken coop. We have some joists down. We actually have some plywood cut to go over these, and I am in the process of painting those so that they will be protected from whatever, chicken poop. So I will keep you informed of how the build goes. And coop progress. We have a floor down. We also have part of the roof up, so we should be able to frame this in hopefully pretty quickly. We'll probably slap the roof on, get some walls up, and then start framing in doors and vents and all that, but I hope we're close because they're getting bigger by the day. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're getting there. And then we will just frame off underneath this play structure just to give them a bit of a spot for a run. And they'll also have that hole is for our irrigation. We have a, there was a sprinkler head there, but we didn't need it if we're going to close this off for a run. So I will tap off that so that they have sort of water on demand. That way if we don't get to their water during the summer, they won't run out. So that's really what it boils down to. This will sort of be emergency backup water that'll just drip into something every time the sprinklers come on. This is where we are right now. We got another wall framed in, but no siding on it yet. I think this is the only progress we've made since the last update. Still have a roof. Still have this wall. I have to paint the opening to the door. So we are sistering in some trusses just to make it a little easier to do the framing. So you can see over there, we sistered in those trusses so that we could put a sill plate on top and have an easier time screwing it in. So that's where we're at. And this is our opening here. So that will be where the clean out will be. So we're working on the nest box wall and we're making a little bit of progress. We have some blocking for this little tiny wall, which will include a storage door for a small storage space. And we've got this wall. It's not tacked in place yet because we still need to put in, so we've got one piece of blocking, we need to put another piece of blocking. This will be the nest box door at the end. We'll just have two, but they're really generous, so hopefully that'll work out for us. Then we will be working on this inner wall between, but we do have blocking for that other wall kind of on the end there as well. And it will just be a full wall. So we're getting there. Another day and more progress. So we have a top plate here. I think we have an intermediate plate. I don't remember where that goes. Oh yeah, that's for the to support the ceiling. So this is the nest box area here, and we're going to have like a ceiling to prevent them from going up into the roof area. And then so there's two nest boxes, and then that third space back there is going to be a little storage nook, you know, so I can store some cleaning supplies and food and, you know, little bits and bobs. So we have a few loose pieces that we still need to get into place that will help support the ceiling and the panel back there. I had to clean the floor. My goodness. This is under an ash tree. I think it's an ash tree. And it's got like tree poop. It was like dropping all this sticky stuff. It was just everywhere. You can kind of see it in the gap here where I couldn't quite get, but it was everywhere. Oh, it's disgusting. So I had to clean it up. We got some peel and stick vinyl tiles so that we can put that down, and that will hopefully help protect the floor a little more and hopefully make it easier to clean. I say hopefully because, you know, obviously we're new to this and we don't know what we're doing. We do have a little frame here just to frame in one of the vent holes. We found out the staples go through the siding, so we got to cover up some damage. But I'll be painting that white and we'll be getting that installed. I also painted the door opening because that will be exposed wood. exposed as in the chickens will be walking back and forth on it, so that had to be painted. And I will eventually, I don't know if it'll be today, probably won't be because we won't have time, we'll be doing other things, but I will have to come through and probably paint some of these pieces of wood that'll be exposed, just to help protect them as well, make them easier to clean. So this is our progress. We got, I don't know if you can see this is the nest box wall, the little storage nook. Then we have this internal wall that'll help separate the nesting area and storage from the main compartment. And then this is sort of the main roost area. We'll have some roosting bars and litter and stuff. It's time for another coop update. We do have a ramp for them, so that will get installed. We have a door. It's an automatic door that'll open and close. We've got parts of the walls up, so I need to actually paint that one. And this is the wall that's going to go right where I'm standing, so that's the door. And then over here we've got the wall that separates the storage area from the nest boxes. And then the start of the wall that goes here. And then once I get these painted up and we can get them installed, then we can put the insulation in and the siding. And then I can clean up the floor and we can put down the floor tile, which will, hopefully help make it be clean, easier to clean. The nest boxes, we've started putting in a little bit of work. This is kind of a panel that could fit over this opening. We don't know if it'll get used here or not, but we'll see. And then we've got some blocking inside so we can divide things up. This, although it's a mess, is a small storage area. Then I'll have a little bit of storage on top of the nest boxes, so it's coming together. We got the wall separating the two parts, and then that was the other wall that this panel is for. So I got some painting to do. We've got some, up here we've got some vents, so I need to actually paint around the vent just so that, if it gets exposed to either weather or, heaven forbid, a bird manages to get up there and poop. And then these are the roosting bars. I need to get those painted up. I need to actually grab another 2x4 and paint that up for another roosting bar. I just forgot to grab it. So my job today will be painting, and then over the weekend we'll try to get some more final assembly up and try to finish off this part of the interior so that we can, start working on the run and get them out. Boy. And then that is the door. So it seems to be working. It's open every time I come out. I don't know if it closes at night. I'm pretty sure it does, but we will double check that before we put them in. So this has been this update. Stay tuned for more. And progress update. So we got siding on all four sides. We've got vents. We've got door openings. We actually have a door for that one mostly ready to go. It's right here. And then we have the piece for this door. We have roosting bars, which we need to actually fix. They're a little wobbly. We did put down some flooring, so it would be hopefully a little easier to clean. We got some sand in the back just trying to hold up the pieces on the side because they didn't want to stick. So I've been putting the sand up against the side just to help hold the pieces in because they don't want to stay in place. Then we go around, we got a little storage compartment, which is nice. Then we've got the nesting boxes. This is a piece of the door. So, and then siding. So it's mostly done. We got a vent there too. So this is it. We are really close. We've got to build the doors, and then we've got to enclose the run so they don't escape and eat my stuff in my garden. So the coop it's pretty much done. We've got some detail work to go. We put a little awning over the door just so it wouldn't get wet because there is an area above where, precipitation could drip down. So that's done. We've got the ramp. We just need to install that. They are actually in there, but it's all enclosed. So we're just acclimating them to it right now. We've got a storage compartment where I can store a bit of food. And then on the side, we've got the doors. We did cut back the overhang, so it's a little easier to walk along here. And then over here, it's just a blank wall pretty much with ventilation. So we will be installing the run under where you see the stock tank, and that'll all be run. There is actually, I don't know if you can see the hole in the ground, but there will be a water system coming out of that. So that is a tie-off for our irrigation. It used to have a sprinkler head on there. We took it off, so we will put in a hose, like a riser with a converter on top that will just slowly drip water into their water container. And I'll show you what their watering container is like, because we got one of the ones with the little nipples on it. It did not take long to train them at all. So I'll show you that. And here they are. They have gotten so big. We got them some roosting bars, which they seem to be using now because there's a little bit of dirt on there. And they're on sand. And then I'm going to have to show you, this is going to be a little upside down, but we got the nipples. The second I put this in here, they just gravitated right for those red things, but I did tap on them and they played with it for quite a while, and they did drink it. So they hopefully are acclimated to that, because we're going to be going for a few days, and yeah, they better know how to use their watering system. They're pretty curious, but they don't like being touched yet. They're not that friendly. So unfortunate, but it kind of happened because we just weren't able to handle them very much. Anyways, that's the coop. We got a hook for the water, so we can put supplemental water in here in the winter. The nest boxes, the access is blocked off for now, just because we don't want them pooping in there and sleeping in there and getting used to that. And they must be molting, because there are just like feathers everywhere. It's insane. So there you go. That's the coop. Nothing spectacular, nothing fancy. It's just what we were able to cobble together. And finally, we finished the run. So we put in a Dutch door with a pretty interesting way to open it, so that part of it always stays closed, and you can always open it no matter what side of the door you're on. So it's going to be a little harder to lock yourself in. So the chickens have been getting braver. It took them 3 days to start coming out of the coop on their own, and on the 4th day they came out a little quicker than they had on the 3rd day. So they've gotten used to it, and it's doing pretty good. So I do need to put mulch in here. We do have details to deal with. The hardware cloth, oh my gosh, this stuff is really annoying to work with. I have scratches on my arms from it. I don't know if you can see. I don't even know if I can find them, but there's scratches all over the place. It's just been pretty bad. But they are in here. They seem a little happier. They have a lot more space. They can do their chicken things. So this is the coop. It is not a great build. It's not spectacular. We're working with an existing structure, so we kind of had limitations with what we could do. But, you know, make do with what you can. I do feel like this was really expensive. It would have been cheaper to just buy a little coop and then just fence off the run area. But, you know, live and learn. I mean, they've got a really nice cushy coop, so, you know, it is what it is. We do have the large food waterers, and I don't know if you can see, there is a irrigation valve down there, and I just converted that to a drip, and so it just slowly drips into their watering container. So this will help, like, you know, I won't have to fill it up quite so often. I'll probably have to go through and clean it every once in a while, but I won't have to worry about them running out of water as quickly, which is really nice. Their food, it can hold a 50-pound bag, so that's also nice. We will be traveling, so this will just take a little bit of the worry out. The only worry we would have is the door runs on a battery, and so, you know, obviously if the battery runs out and they get stuck in there, that could be a problem. But we'll probably take the battery out before we leave and just leave the door open, and then we'll just put it back in when we get back. But they are happily scratching around and doing their thing. And I hope once I can get some mulch in here, it'll give them more stuff to scratch at and, you know, a little bit more stuff to play with. Hopefully it'll bring in more bugs too. So, I learned a lot doing this. Hardware cloth is nasty to work with. Doesn't matter if you wear gloves or not, your hands will get dirty. Building this was a lesson. It was like we would have to bounce ideas off of each other and try to figure out what we could do to make it work. But in the end, we have a coop, we have 5 chickens, probably 2 more than we're allowed to have, but that's kind of how chicken math works. Hopefully we won't get in trouble for it. Just wanted to show you how the door works on this. We do have a little block here just to keep it from swinging too far closed, but if I open this one, sorry about the squeak, the door top part opens, and then we have another handle on the inside that we can open the bottom for. And when we open the bottom, we can lock the two together. So I can lock the two together and close both doors at the same time. And now I can still get out. Now I can't open the top part if I needed to, but I can open the bottom as a whole door. And then just to show you, It's nicely backlit. So we just have something that converts from where a sprinkler head would go to just a pipe, and that just runs down to this little, this is actually for wires so that you can put in a heater for winter use. But we just have this in here, and on the end there is just a dripper. So this one, I'm not sure what it is. It's probably a ½ gallon per hour dripper, but that keeps the water pretty full. It's actually maintained the level. So they are drinking as much as it's filling. And I hope you actually found this video useful. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out because I have to edit all these disparate pieces together. So I hope you found it useful. If you did, let me know and give it a thumbs up or a like or something, and I will have some videos at the end that you might also find helpful or useful or fun to watch. Thank you for joining me on this crazy coop build, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.